Hello everyone, Giltar here, with a response to Mr. Capcom's video titled Gundam, Neked or Painted? How do you use Gundam markers? For me to answer the first question, I prefer my Gundam model kits painted. I haven't given any of my model kits full paint jobs yet, simply because I started in the model kit hobby just a few months ago, basically in late fall, early winter, and at this point where I live in Canada, it's too cold to spray paint or use airbrushes outside. I don't have a vacuum booth or a spray booth, so I can, do some spray painting inside. And I would prefer not to do fully sort of hand brushed model kits. I want to give them sort of a spray paint or more of a spray paint job to them. So I'm going to wait until late spring or early summer before I start spray painting. But I do prefer fully painted model kits. And I didn't arrive at that conclusion immediately. When I first started to get into model kits, I thought, okay, well, they come with stickers and the plastic parts are pre-colored and they look fine, so maybe I'll stick with that and enhance it with some panel lining. And I started doing that and I felt there's just something missing, and I moved on to the next level, which was incorporating the use of Gundam markers. And I bought a set of the basic Gundam colors for Gundam markers, and I ended up just using it mainly as touch-up markers. Like, I didn't really paint parts, I just touched up nub marks, and that still wasn't enough for me. And I basically, in December, I realized if I really want to get the sort of resulting visuals of a finished model kit that I have in my head, I'm gonna have to use a full paint job. There's just no other way, because just touching it up or doing some minor painting and application of stickers just won't be enough for me. I will want to give them full paint jobs. And my basic plan is to start off with cleaned parts that have been maybe lightly sanded, or actually it's probably better just to clean the parts up and then use a base coat of primer, and then after that then apply my paint. And then after the paints have been cured and dried properly, I also want to apply some top coat. Now, one thing I've noticed that isn't really mentioned at all in the model kit hobby forums that I'm a part of is that there's nobody really mentioning any concerns with the long-term effects of plastic parts under sunlight, especially white plastic parts, because they can actually yellow and discolor under sunlight. Not many people mention that in the hobby sort of model kit areas. However, I've come across more concern about this in the Transformers and other action figure collecting communities out there, because for example, some people have had Transformers with white plastic pieces that have discolored under sunlight over time. And I think the same thing could probably happen with the ABS plastics and the polystyrene plastics that are used in model kits commonly. And so I do plan on using top coat, but also I want to look for top coats that provide UV protection. I think Mr. Super Clear has a variation where it has UV protection in it, so I might use Mr. Super Clear if I can find it, or other variations. Additionally, I do plan on trying out Krylon Fusion paint, because I hear that it's supposed to be a formula that bonds with plastic well. It's made to bond with plastic, so maybe I could skip the primer stage, or if not, it doesn't matter, but I'm interested in that. And also it's formulated to be an outdoor paint. It's supposed to be put on like lawn furniture, for example. So I think it's a kind of paint that can withstand a constant UV exposure. So if I use Krylon Fusion paint, for example, I think I can avoid using a UV treated top coat, and if I just use a standard top coat to reach the desired finish I want, which is usually going to be a matte or a flat finish, I think I can just use a standard top coat. Now, as far as Gundam markers and how do I use them, like I said earlier, I just basically use them to touch up nub marks, and I actually, to be honest, I haven't used my Gundam markers in months now. I just don't find a use for them, because since I'm planning to paint the model kits, there's no use for me just to simply paint a part or touch up a part if it's going to be covered by paint later on. So that's my answer to this question. Thank you to Mr. Capcom for asking it. I hope you guys have your own thoughts on this as well. As some of you more experienced modelers out there, please share your experience with using Gundam markers and your preference for paint versus naked model kits. And yeah, definitely go to Mr. Capcom's video, comment in response, or if as usual, if you can, and if you have the capability, record a video response and respond to his video. Thanks for watching.